Hi guys and welcome back to Crypto Chester. I'm here today to give you a Bitcoin update. We're going to be going through Bitcoin charts on the micro and the macro as well. Make sure you watch it all the way to the end because there's a very key point on the longer term time frame that I want to touch on. Without further ado, let's get straight into the charts. Starting off with Bitcoin here on the short term time frame. That's going to be the hourly, guys. I just want to discuss the chart pattern which we're currently in. You can see that this is a parallel channel, guys, a very strong parallel channel as of that. We've been trending in this area in this sideways motion since the 30th of November. So what a poor start to the start of December, okay? Not great considering what a lot of people thought was going to happen. They thought we were going to have a bit of bullish momentum towards the end of the year, but we didn't get that. Now, in terms of the level of support that we're looking for at the moment for Bitcoin, you can see this level along this parallel channel is going to be currently sat at around 16,778, 16,800 for simplicity's sake. There is a trade here, guys. There's going to be a trade to the downside here, which is worth around 3.33%, as you can see to the chart there. I'm going to be looking for a breakout scenario on the lower side here. To be honest with you, I want to break below this wick, this filthy hammer candle wick to the lower side here, around 16,663 I've got plotted in there. So if we can get a candle body close on the hourly below that with the right confluences across multiple time frames, I will be looking for a short all the way down to around 16,200. I will be having take profits along the way. I'm not just going to have one take profit. I'm going to be staggering those TPs all the way down to capitalize and get as much money from this trade as possible. Now, in terms of a move to the upside, that's obviously the downside. If we do see a move to the downside here, that's the short I'm going to be taking. But it is a parallel channel, guys. It is going pretty sideways in a sideways motion. So this technically does mean it can break either way. Can we be prepared for either way? Absolutely. Absolutely, we can. The measure move to the upside is going to be something along the lines of this, guys. So we're going to be looking for a break to the upside. And the break's going to be around 17,400. To really get out of this horrible trap zone where these wicks have come through previously and just dumped down in like a V-shaped recovery, an inverted V-shaped recovery there, we're going to be looking for a nice candle body close above 17,450, that sort of area, and then we're going to be riding that long all the way to the upside, okay? In terms of a percentage move for this trade, it's going to, again, be around 3.45%, more looking at around pretty much bang on 3%, so not too bad there. In terms of the MACD, guys, what we are looking at here is actually we've just flipped bullish on the short term, so that definitely is something to be looking out for there because the trend is technically most of the time it's correct, right? So we've just had that bullish crossover on the MACD, so look out for the uptrend coming through from this potential lower high that's about to be set there. In terms of what we're looking for on the RSI, guys, you can see it is looking fairly bearish right here, but one thing I do want to touch on is this this previous low here, guys. This previous low compared to the low that we've just set in the initial dump that we've had, it's actually breaking lows compared to the chart, okay? And this technically means that it's going to be a bullish divergence, guys, okay? So you can see the low that we've got set here and the low that we've got set currently here on the RSI. This basically means like that, and this basically means like that. So if we don't break this low in terms of a price of 16,700, it's going to be a bullish divergence, which does mean bullish momentum to the upside, guys, which technically usually will mean a bounce before we break, okay? Maybe a fake to the lower side here around 16,600, but the likelihood of us bouncing right now with this bullish divergence is fairly likely. Moving on to the midterm time frame here for Bitcoin right now, because let's look at the volume weighted ATR bands and the VPVR, the volume profile visible range coming through. Let's look at where we're looking at here, right, guys? You can see the volume weighted ATR band, 60 minute, 30 minute. The area that we're ranging in right now is, as I was just discussing on the shorter term time frame, this parallel channel, guys, okay? 17,400 and around 16,600. So the fact that we're still we're still in between these two volume weighted ATR bands doesn't really give us that strong signal of the direction of where we're going. So we really need to look at a potential break. As you can see, we have tested this before, but didn't really quite get that initial continuation to the upside from that move. So what I'm looking for to the lower side here, for the confirmation that we're going to have continuation either to the downside or the upside here, because on the macro, obviously it is fairly bearish, but on the micro time frames here, you can see we are in a pretty much a micro uptrend, right? So what I'm looking for here is going to be the break of the volume weighted ATR band around 16,657, and that does pretty much collide with my lovely short position there on the lower term time frame. So if that bullish divergence doesn't hold out on the shorter term time frame RSI, then we will see a colossal dump to the lower side here, and we will lose the volume weighted ATR band around 16,700. Now to the upside, same scenario, guys. As I said, we're still in this sort of range, so it kind of looks exactly the same as the short term time frame, but we are using that chart pattern on the short shorter term time frame. In terms of the directional movement index, guys, this is pretty good tool to determine how strong the trend is going to be. We have just had this pretty strong bullish crossover, okay? We have had that bullish crossover. Sorry, it's a bearish crossover. We've got a bearish crossover to the upside here, the negative crossing to the upside, and that essentially means that it is meant to be a bearish trend, okay? But the ADX, look how low this bad boy is. It's just embarrassingly low, okay? It's terrible. And the key points we know for this indicator are 20 and 25 for the ADX to be above this area. If the ADX is above these areas and we do see a crossover, it shows the trend is going to be nice and strong. But at this point in time, we haven't seen that at all. The ADX is looking absolutely pathetic. So essentially this means that this trend is not going to be strong at all. It's not the greatest indication of what we're going to be looking for at the moment, at this time, okay? Now, we are in a bearish control zone here on the 4 hour as well, so that is something you want to be looking out for there as well, guys, because bearish momentum is looking fairly likely moving across to the macro scenarios, right? Moving across to the actual macro, we've just had a humongous sell signal from the Super Trend CCOVB indicator that I use to make copious amounts of cash here. We have just had a very, very strong sell signal for that, so it's going to be interesting to see how low and whether we will be coming down to these 16,600. But just to get a little idea, guys, we are still having this. We have still had this bullish crossover here from the triple EMA and the double EMA as well, which essentially means that it is technically an uptrend right now, okay? It's technically an uptrend right now. So these are gradually getting closer together. Let me get rid of the other indicators for a second. These are gradually getting closer together. When we do see this crossover, we're likely to see a dump in the price for Bitcoin. Now, with that sell signal on the SPV as well, the OBV super trend, we are going to be looking for this basically colossal dump to the downside. If this is going to happen, let me jump to the macro time frame, because this is where it gets really pretty interesting, guys, because the swing low right now for Fibonacci for this current bear market is down around 15,400. So what are we looking for? We're looking for essentially a break of that low if we're going to see continuation going further down. And obviously, we know we've got some horrific stuff happening in the crypto space right now. Exchanges having to do proof of reserve and all this horrible stuff for a lot of businesses and a lot of people that are getting scammed and stuff. FTX scenario, not great, okay? Really, really not great stuff there. And there's some news about Gemini as well coming out in the future, which is still in the pipeline. I'm hearing things. So, yeah, hopefully that doesn't go down. But yeah, I heard they're trapped in a really bad position or something like that. Anyway, and also Genesis, not great. But yeah, there's a lot of things going on in the crypto space right now. So we need to be aware if we are going to see some huge fundamental news come out for crypto, we're going to see a huge dump if the news is negative, right? So if that is going to happen, the point that we're going to be looking out for, the capitalization, revenue making scenario that we want to be looking out for here is going to be this 25.1% to the downside here for this move. Okay, you can see my checkpoints are at 13,880, more 14,000, and also 12,373. Now this move is going to be absolutely huge. Take profits coming all the way down there. I don't think it'll be absolutely colossal straight away. I think it'll probably trickle down if it does, probably one big death wick, and then just trickling down to around 11,500. Scary prices there for Bitcoin. I'm going to be buying the hell out of it if we get down to 11K, right? But yeah, I'm going to be short in the market if we do clear this zone. As you can see, this is going to be a very strong box area from the previous bull run back in 2017, end of 2017. So this basically means if we lose this area, I would expect colossal dumpage to the downside, guys. The prices, again, 14K, 12K, 11K. These prices are very, very getting more achievable as more news comes out for crypto. But that's sort of all I'm going to be covering today, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it. And also, guys, we are developing a really cool new strategy in the Telegram. So thank you again to everyone who is in the Telegram. We're all back testing together, trying to develop this strategy for basically future automation for trading cryptos. It's very, very exciting stuff. So if you did want to join the Telegram, the link is in the community, guys. We've got a nicely tight knitted family that we're all getting together and we're all testing together in this filthy, horrible bear market, right? But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Make sure you smash a like and also a subscribe button if you do want to see more of my content. But for now, it's going to be peace out and goodbye from me, Crypto Chester.